For a moment, I want you to forget about our loss of national sovereignty, our inability to write all of our own laws, control our borders. The fact that David Cameron, our Prime Minister, has said on the record he wants to see the European Union in its borders expand all the way to the Ural Mountains in Asia. Let's forget about all the people that will come in from those regions, Ukraine, Kazakhstan. Let's forget about the damage it will do to our relationship with Russia if we see that plan materialize. Today I want to speak about one thing and one thing only, the cost of the European Union. Conservative estimates that the left and the right, which in this country is the same thing, agree upon net expenditure annually is exceeding 10 to 15 billion pounds. That's not calculating the cost to NHS, how much it costs to incarcerate criminals in our system who arrive from the European Union, wage compression, our unemployment rises, the cost of housing. There's so many costs that are incurred because of our membership in the European Union. Not to mention foreign aid. As a member state in the European Union, we are required to spend almost 1% of our gross domestic product on foreign aid to nations like Israel, India, South Africa, nations with enormous militaries, space programs. In South Africa, £20 million was spent on the president's palace, where he was able to house 8 of his wives. So what I say when people tell me that the BNP's policy to repeal foreign aid and get us out of the European Union is wrong or unethical, I say it's not. Right now we have homeless in this country. We have overcrowded hospitals. We have pensioners setting their thermostats at 13 degrees. We have returning servicemen with post-traumatic stress disorder living on the street. So no, until this is resolved, I say we out the EU, we end foreign aid, we stop funding the rebels in Syria, we stop funding terrorism, and we start looking at our own nation. Charity begins at home. Today, I'm on Merseyside to see what the people think as well. Currently, the UK is spending £12.4 billion annually on foreign aid. Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, it's far too much money. There's a lot of money could be spent here. We need that money far more than the foreign countries. Unfortunately, for some reason, they insist on giving our money away to foreigners when this country's on its knees near enough. We need that money ourselves. So it'd be far better spent here. That's my view anyway.
What would you think we should spend the money on in this country?
Well, certainly on health and education. Our NHS is crumbling. The schools are full with migrants, so we need all that money for ourselves.
I don't agree with it, to be fair. I don't agree with charity where I'm concerned, and how I've been brought up starts at home. And I think we do enough as a whole, as a country, to everyone else. Why should we keep giving? Because there's got to be a limit on ourselves. I don't agree with it.
What would you spend the money on if we could get the 12.4 billion back?
Helping the people on the streets in this country. You know, there's kids in this country that are deprived. Give it to them. You know, stop giving it outside of the country. Help the people in this country first. Then if there's money left over in the pot, by all means help other children, but help other people. But you know, can I say this? But it's like with what's happening now, with them helping refugees, that's fine. But all the pictures you're getting now are grown men. Where's the children? Where's the mothers? Help them first. Not, you know, I'm quite opinionated over it because I do believe that we're an island that's running out of space.
You look after your own people first. We've got servicemen who've served the country, living on the streets in London, all over the country, and I think it's disgusting. Politicians are totally out of touch with reality.
I don't think we should send it abroad.
No.
Sorry, there's enough problems here.
I agree. So what would you spend it on?
Probably the NHS to start with.
Are you aware that last year £2 billion was spent on NHS for illegal migrants?
Yeah, well that's wrong, yeah. Yeah, that should be wrong, yeah. Yeah, well, but that's down to the NHS at the end of the day, isn't it? They don't ask enough questions, I don't think. They just treat everybody.
But do they have a choice, though? When the government lets the people in, you can't turn people away if they're sick once they're in the country. Isn't it the government's responsibility, therefore?
Well, there should be another option, shouldn't they? Like mercy hospitals or charities, things like that. Yeah, if you don't pay in, you shouldn't take out.
I'm not happy with all that money going. I think it could be best spent here. So I think we should help the other countries, but not so much. They should sort themselves out.
No, we shouldn't. We should be spending it on the people in this country. This is what we should be spending it on. When we give all these millions to foreign countries, is it going to where it should be going? That's what you have to ask yourself. You know, we send money to Africa. Over the years, I'm 71 years of age now, Africa's had billions. Has it gone to the people? It has never gone to the people where it should. People give out of the kindness of their heart, but when you look at the people running around in four-wheel drives and building palaces, it doesn't go to the right people, does it? Nobody likes to see children starving. But what have they done with all the money from Live Aid and things like that? You know, it doesn't make sense, does it? You know, Mr Cameron's cuts back on this and cuts back on that, and at the drop of an hat, he can find £100 million. 100 million. You think, well, where's this 100 million come from? You know, he's saying we'll fetch 20,000 refugees in. Not that I don't feel sorry, but where are they going to go? Have we got schools for them? Have we got hospitals for them? You know, unfortunately, they can't even speak English, so there's no chance of them getting jobs. You know, is this country, is it tilting this country a different way? That some people that's come into this country don't know the values of this country. You know, that is the biggest concern I have, not for me, but for the children and the grandchildren. You know, I think in the world, do some countries do enough? Could Australia, Canada do more? Could America do more? You know, it's all right keep saying it's a European problem, but is it a European problem or is it a world problem? You know, we've got wealthy countries like China, Japan, Australia, Canada, with huge amounts of land. Maybe they should take some of this slack up.
I was a young lad in 1956. A couple of mature blokes at that age said, how much longer have we got to pay this foreign aid? So over the last 60 years we've been foreign aid and we've got homeless people on the streets here. You know, I've worked, South Africa, I've worked in a number of countries, and I think, why can't we sort our own people out?
I've spoken to a few dozen people today, and I can't think of one person who disagreed with what I was saying and the BNP's position on foreign aid in the European Union. This is Jack Sen for the BNP. See you on the streets.